Hello, and thank you for watching this midweek encouragement video. I'm actually standing in the room of our church we call the chapel. This is the oldest building that we have on our campus. And this is the building, this is where I'm actually standing, is the area that Pastor Justin in his last Sunday before he began his sabbatical and kicked off our Eyes on Christ series in Hebrews chapter 11. He referenced this area where there were a group of young boys who had been around the church, the windows were broken, and as they're peering in, they see a pulpit, and they see behind the pulpit a plow, and it was very clear that the church had not been used in quite a long time. So they went and told people, which got the church reinvigorated, rejuvenated, so to speak. And while that building that they're talking about and that pulpit is gone because it was destroyed in an accident, and this current building now was placed on top of it. But this is about where that pulpit would have been, and where the TV is about where that plow would have been. And I bring that up because I've been very nostalgic this month and during the month of May, thinking about God's faithfulness. And as we've focused our thoughts on this with Hebrews chapter 11, looking at the individuals that the author of Hebrews commends for their faith in God. And with our focus in this series, Eyes on Christ, we look at God's faithfulness in the past and how that points us to Christ and how we should keep our eyes on Christ and keep focused on Christ. And I was reminded of this earlier this week. Tammy and I went to a funeral visitation for a dear brother who, when we first started attending this church, was a member here. And I had the privilege of being on his team. We had what was called Pastor's Prayer Partners. And I was in a group that met once a month on Sunday evenings. And Bill was the leader for my group. And I had the privilege of praying with him and other men once a month for a few years. And the ability to do that. And in speaking with his son at the visitation, we were reminded of how we're encouraged in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4. I'm going to splice a few of these passages together. Specifically verse 13, it says, "But we do not want you to be uninformed, brothers, about those who are asleep, that you may not grieve as others do who have no hope." And Paul finishes that with a great charge of encouragement in verse 17. In verse 18, he says, "Then we who are alive, who are left, will be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, so that we will always be with the Lord. Therefore, encourage one another with these words." And so as we go through this series on Hebrews and we look at God's faithfulness in the past and how that should point us forward to point us to look directly to Christ, and how that gives us a hope of his return, knowing that that is going to happen. And what an encouragement that's been to me, and I hope that is for you as well. Look forward to seeing you this coming Sunday, which is Memorial Day weekend, and also want to remind you that on Sunday, June the 1st, we have our next family meeting where we will be sharing some information about God's continued work here at Parkside. How he's giving us the opportunity to not only serve our community, but also to proclaim the gospel. We will also, on Sunday, June 1st, be having our church vote on whether to affirm Rob Alcock as our next pastor. This vote is to, again, whether or not to affirm Rob in a staff pastor role who will be focused on discipleship. I hope to see you this coming Sunday, and may God bless you, and I hope you have a great rest of your week.